welcome to another episode of John is looking frazzled because he was doing Icelandic evening and he's had a nice long evening of finding out about Gustni, Birna, Sverrir and all their lives. But right now it's time for the life of the Little Prince. Chapter 11. The second planet was inhabited by a conceited man. I'm about to receive a visit from an admirer. He claimed from afar when he first saw the Little Prince coming. For, to conceited men, all other men are admirers. Good morning, said the Little Prince. That is a queer hat you're wearing. It is a hat for salutes, the conceited man replied. It is to raise in the salute when people acclaim me. Unfortunately, nobody at all ever passes this way. Yes, said the Little Prince, who did not understand what the conceited man was talking about. Clap your hands one against the other, the conceited man now directed him. The Little Prince clapped his hands. The conceited man raised his hat in a modest salute. This is more entertaining than a visit to the king, the Little Prince said to himself, and he began to clap his hands again, one against the other. The conceited man again raised his hat in a salute. After 5 minutes of this exercise, the Little Prince grew tired of the game's monotony. Orange juice going crazy, flying off the hook. After 5 minutes of this exercise, the Little Prince grew tired of the game's monotony. And what should one do to make the hat come down, he asked. But the conceited man could not hear him. Conceited people never hear anything but praise. Do you really admire me very much, he demanded of the Little Prince. What does that mean, admire, said the Prince. To admire means you regard me as the handsomest, the best dressed, the richest and the most intelligent man on the planet. You're the only man on no planet. Do me this kindness, admire me just this one time. Or just the same. I admire you, said the Little Prince, shrugging his shoulders slightly. But what is there to interest you so much? And the Little Prince went away. The grown-ups are certainly very odd, he said to himself, as he continued his journey. And here is the conceited man. The next planet was inhabited by a tippler. This was a very short visit, but it plunged the Little Prince into deep dejection. What are you doing here? He said to the tippler, whom he found in silence before a collection of empty bottles and also a collection of full bottles. I am drinking, replied the tippler with a lugubrious air. Why are you drinking? Demanded the Little Prince. So that I may forget, said the tippler. Forget what? Inquired the Little Prince, who was already sorry for him. Forget that I am ashamed, the tippler confessed, hanging his head. Ashamed of what? Insisted the Little Prince, who wanted to help him. Ashamed of drinking. The tippler brought the speech to an end and shut himself up in an impregnable silence. And the Little Prince went away puzzled. The grown-ups are certainly very, very odd, he said to himself, as he continued on his journey. And here's the tippler. Quite a collection of bottles he has, a very smooth plant. The fourth planet belonged to a businessman. This man was so much occupied that he did not even raise his head at the Little Prince's arrival. Good morning, Little Prince said to him. Your cigarette has gone out. 3 and 2 makes 5, 5 and 7 makes 12, 12 and 3 makes 15. Good morning. 15 and 7 make 22, 22 and 6 make 28. I haven't time to light it again. 26 and 5 make 31. Phew, that makes 500,622,731. 500 million what? Said the Little Prince. Hey, are you still there? 501 million. I can't stop. I have so much to do. I'm concerned with matters of consequence. I don't amuse myself with balderdash. 25 makes 7. 501 million what? Repeated the Little Prince, who had never in his life let go of a question once he had asked it. The businessman raised his head. During the 54 years that I have inhabited this planet, I have been disturbed only 3 times. The first time was 22 years ago, when some giddy goose fell from the goodness nowhere. He made the most frightful noise and drowned all over the place, and he made 4 mistakes in my addition. The second time, 11 years ago, disturbed by an attack of rheumatism. I don't get enough exercise. I have no time for loping. The third time, well, this is it, I was saying. Then, 501 million. Millions of what? The businessman suddenly realized there was no hope of being left in peace until he answered the questions. Millions of those little objects, he said. Which ones sometimes sees in the sky? Flies? Oh no, little living objects. Bees? Oh no, little golden objects lazy men see dreaming idly. For me, I am concerned with matters of consequences. There is no time for idle dreaming in my life. Ah, you mean the stars? Yes, that's it, stars. And what do you do with 500 million stars? 501,622,731. I am concerned with matters of consequence. I am accurate. And what do you do with these stars? What do I do with them? Yes. Nothing. I own them. You own the stars? Yes. But I already have seen a king who... Kings don't own, they reign over. It's a very different matter. And what good does it do you if you own the stars? It does me good at making rich. And what good does it do you to be rich? It makes it possible for me to buy more stars if they're undiscovered. This man, the Little Prince said to himself, reasons a little like my poor tippler. Nevertheless, he had some more questions. How is it possible to own the stars? Whom do they belong? The businessman retorted peevishly. I don't know, to nobody. Then it belonged to me because I was the first one to think of it. Is that all that is necessary? Certainly, when you find a diamond that belongs to nobody, it's yours. When you discover an island that belongs to nobody, it's yours. When you get an idea from somebody else, you take it or patent on it, it's yours. So it's me. I own the stars because nobody else has ever thought of owning them. Yes, that is true, said the little prince. And what do you do with them? I administer them, replied the businessman. I count them and I recount them. It is difficult. I am a man who is naturally interested in matters of consequence. The little prince was still not satisfied. If I owned a silk scarf, he said, I could put it around my neck and take it away with me. If I owned a flower, I could pluck that flower and take it with me. But you could not pluck the stars from the heavens. Ooh. No, but I can put them in a bank. What does that mean? That means that I write the number of the stars on a little paper, then I put this paper in a drawer and lock it with a key. And that is all. That is enough, said the businessman. It is entertaining, said the little prince. It is rather poetic, but it is of no great consequence. On matters of consequence, the little prince had ideas which were very different from those of the grown-ups. I myself own a flower, he continued with the conversation with the businessman, which I water every day. I own 3 volcanoes which I clean out every week, for I also clean the one that is extinct. One never knows. It is of some use to my volcanoes, and it is of some use to my flower, that I own them. But you are of no use to the stars. The businessman opened his mouth, but he found nothing to say in answer, and the little prince went away. The grown-ups are certainly altogether extraordinary, he said simply, talking to himself as he continued on his journey. Alright, love. That was 3 chapters, and we'll start chapter 14 tomorrow. I like reading as a businessman, it's fun. It's a good feeling. I like rattling things off my tongue without anyone interrupting me. Alright, sweetheart, sleep well. Keep calm. Find love. Carry on. Carry on. And I will talk to you very soon. And I'll be home even sooner. And what else was I going to say? Yes. I love you. I'm glad. I'm glad that you made an appointment. I know it must have been taken a lot. And I'm proud of you. Alright? Very much. I love you, Christy. Good night.